Exact words my husband said when we went to the House floor the first time. He said, "Where's all the women?"
Women make up just 30% of all elected officials in the U.S. However, times are changing. 2 women behind the president for the very first time during a joint address. While that's a big leap, many think it's the smaller steps that'll create the greatest change.
I was running in a district that had not been represented by a woman in 30 years and by a Democrat in 40 years.
In comes Emerge, an organization that began 2 decades ago to help Democratic women that have never held office run and win.
I needed to learn how to campaign, I needed to learn how to fundraise, and I needed to learn how to turn my passion into a political campaign.
Tina Davis and Mary Jo Daley, both serving in Harrisburg, started Emerge PA just before the 2016 election. They said something was missing when they looked around their state capital.
The makeup of the House right now is different because there are more women, and the difference is that the conversation is different. We talk about things like child care. We talk about equal pay. We talk about gender equity. We talk about paid time off. We actually talk about those things, which is, it's a big change.
Just a few years ago, Pennsylvania was ranked 49th in the country for the number of women in elected positions. The battleground state flipped by Trump in 2016 and then back blue by Biden in 2020, emblematic of the progressive women entering local races that have gone unchallenged for decades.
I was the little engine that could. No one thought I would win. The seat that I flipped had been held by a Republican for forever, and I won with hustle and boots on the ground.
Representative Mary Gay Scanlon was part of the wave of women elected to Congress in 2018, when a historic 255 women ran for office in both parties.
Can you describe how it felt that day?
Oh, it was really exciting because at that time, Pennsylvania had the largest congressional delegation with no women in it. There were 18 congressmen and 2 senators, all men, and by getting sworn early, I got to break through that. So we have this great image that we took that day. I'm there in a bright blue dress, surrounded by these guys in dark suits. I did call them my brethren. It made them laugh.
When running for office, women face challenges men never even have to think about.
After a debate, a group of people walked up to me and they said, "SHAVONNIA, we really appreciated your answers. You know exactly what you're talking about. However, we don't like your jacket color, so we're not sure if we're going to vote for you."
For the 150 successful women Emerge trained, it became less about style and more about substance.
Many of us are the head of household of our own family, no matter what that family looks like. And having that kind of laser focus on what actually life is like for people makes us better leaders, makes us better voters, it makes us more active.
These women are far from so-called career politicians. Instead, they're using their work experience to change the status quo in their communities. Maria Collette was a trauma nurse before she ran for state senate in 2018.
I had never run for office before. I had never even thought about running for office before. I had no idea that this skill would suddenly become useful. But being a nurse has allowed me to go to vaccine clinics all around Montgomery County, where I represent people, and administer COVID vaccines.
And JOANNA McClinton, the first woman in PA elected leader of either party, was an attorney.
It's exciting to know that I'm not just bringing my law practice as a former public defender and my passion for criminal justice, but I'm also bringing my outlook as a woman and being able to say what many women across Pennsylvania are facing.
How do you keep the progress going once you're in office at every level of government?
I think making sure that you're surrounded by people that are going to amplify the message, increase public awareness about the issues is really, really important. You still need to mobilize after you've won.
We recruit other women, and we steer promising women candidates.
And passing these lessons on to the next generation.
How important is it for you to know what's going on in your government?
Very important. I really like the way that women stand up for the country.
With each generation, building on the last.
Do you want to be elected yourself one day? Do you want to be in government?
Yes.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.